Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of my VOD review series. In this episode, we're going to be covering a VOD sent to us by its son, and it's a Chalet ranked game of his. We're going to be going in, breaking down everything he did wrong, and I'll also be giving him some tips to help him improve. And anyways, let's go ahead and get into the review. Now, the first thing I want to point out is that I like the fact that you are droning all of this out. You're getting a little bit risky with your drone during the prep phase. I would probably hide it, which it seems like you chose to do that, which is smart. You don't want to ever put your drone in a situation in the prep phase where it can be shot, and by driving it that close to a defender, you did risk yourself getting your drone shot. And since you knew where the location of the bomb site was already, you didn't necessarily need to get your drone that close. Also, it does seem like your mic is bugged because it seems like you were calling out there in game chat. It's just we can't hear it for some reason. So I'm just going to assume that you are making call outs and that the VOD just doesn't have your mic in it. I like that you're droning this. It seems like you genuinely are spending a lot of time droning, which is pretty different for new players. I hope you're calling this out. I'm assuming you're calling this out.
At me, even though you shot at her.
It looks like you are calling this out. You need to be calling these the location of the defenders out when you're in this situation, which it seems like you are. It's just we can't hear it. Yeah, okay, this was kind of a misplay on your team's part. It was good job of Lion picking up the kill on the refrag onto Doc, I believe, but then he died to Warden, and then you almost lost your gunfight against Warden because you whiffed extremely hard. It doesn't even seem like you had an issue with recoil control. It just seemed like your aim in general was bad there because recoil wasn't really being jumpy to you or anything. Like if you watch this back, it looks like it was just your aim in general. So I mean, realistically, all you can do for that is just spend more time in the shooting range and just practice more. Eventually you'll get the hang of aiming and stuff. That wasn't really a recoil issue, but at the end of the day, I mean, you guys didn't play this awfully. It's just Lion kind of threw his gunfight, and he's also running shotgun. Rotating here is a little bit of a risky decision because you don't know if any enemies are down here because you haven't droned it out. So you are making a pretty risky play here by just dropping down, but I do understand that you can't drone everything, and so sometimes you have to take risks. Okay, shooting this frost mat here is a bad decision, and I'll tell you why. You know that frost mat's there, so you're not going to walk into it, and by shooting the frost mat there, you then let the enemy team know that you've just rotated up to fireplace stairs. If you didn't shoot this frost mat, you would have actually been able to sneak up on anyone over here and caught them off guard, but now because you shot this frost mat, any defender nearby is going to know that you're here now. You should have only shot that unless it was getting in your way, which it wasn't. Or unless you had teammates nearby that might have walked into it.
But Kai's behind you.
Okay, yeah, this was just a misplay on your... Whoa. Okay, yeah. You probably just got yourself killed here. In this situation, as soon as you started getting shot at by Cav, you should have just committed to that gunfight. Even though you were low on HP, I see you're 16 health, and that's probably why you got scared and ran over here. But since you're running into an area near the bomb site, which is clearly controlled by the defenders, you've basically forced yourself into a gunfight that you're probably going to lose. I personally would have just taken the one-on-one gunfight with Caveira and then went from there. But now that you forced yourself into an area where you have no idea where the defenders are, there's clearly one on bathroom now, but you have no idea where the defenders are, and they can easily surround you and just kill you.
They're in
which I'm gonna assume you die here.
Bathroom?
Yeah, you die here. And that your death was pretty much on you. Your teammates probably weren't sitting on the flank drone, which was a little bit on their fault, but by you rotating there and forcing yourself into piano, you kind of got yourself killed. You just needed to take the one-on-one gunfight with Caveira. There was no other option there that was going to let you live other than just taking the risk of winning the gunfight against Caveira. But yeah, I mean, that was just a misplay on your part and also partially your team. Okay, yeah, you just lost this round because your teammates misplayed. I'm not gonna lie, putting an Asus shield down in that closet is terrible. So that was just a misplay on your teammates' part, which you had no control of. Now, one thing I noticed from the previous round that you guys weren't doing is you guys did not pick a hard breacher. In my opinion, you should be picking at least one hard breacher on every bomb site on Chalet because you're gonna need to get at least one reinforced wall open. And especially now that you guys are going garage, you better bring a hard breacher because you're going to be screwed if you don't. Okay, good. I'm happy to see that you're picking up the hard breacher because your team is going to need a hard breacher. And so you picking thermite and choosing to stick on the support role is a good play here. I'm happy to see that you're taking the sacrifice to play the support role here. Now, considering that you guys have a RAM, you're probably going to want to do a top-down clear here, so that way you can get the vert control and let RAM use your gadget. So I would recommend doing that if you're going to stick with having a RAM. You've seen Caveira, so you should probably call that out to your team, because that means you're not going to want to... Okay, good, you did. Yeah, so that means that you're not going to want to go off by yourself during this round, so make sure you're sticking with teammates, unless you plan on, you know, not entering the building. Your team is doing a pretty bad job of saving their drones. You guys need to get in the habit of saving your drones in the prep phase, because everyone's trying to drive their drone down a staircase near the site. And see, now you guys only have one drone from the prep phase alive. I hope your gridlock has EMPs here, because if she doesn't, then you're probably not going to be able to get this wall open unless they just don't put any denial on it, which they didn't, so you got lucky. Now, once you get this breach open, I'd recommend you just sitting here holding this angle. I would stay outside the breach with Thermite and send your other two teammates upstairs to help take vertical control, because you don't need 3 people stacked up on one breach. But it looks like you guys are not going to be doing that. Yeah, you need to rotate down and try to hold the breach, and have Lion rotate up to help the team, because the team is clearly trying to get vert control right now, and there's only 2 of them, so you want to help them out. Also, I would be droning right now, because you guys might actually be able to go for a plant. Okay, yeah. You got lucky here, like very lucky, extremely lucky that you were able to do this, because you didn't drone anything out. There could have easily been someone on B bomb here that could have laid you out as soon as you tried to run through the breach, and you didn't drone it out, so there could have been a rotate there too that they could have swung through. But you just got extremely lucky here. For future reference, you need to be droning this before you enter. You could have easily just droned out the breach, made for sure it was clear, and then walked in knowing where everyone was.
Oh shit, my bad.
You're good.
Which, which I was right. There was someone on the B bomb. So for future reference, you just kind of got lucky there. Mute, for some reason, just wasn't watching you. But you should have droned this out, because you could have easily gotten killed by Mute for basically free, and you would have dropped the diffuser in the bomb site for the defenders to just watch.
Don't sweat it.
He's going downstairs.
Oh shit.
Okay, now your team is taking one-on-one gunfights with Mute. Okay, good that you were there to watch his rotation and you were able to kill him. But to be fair, Mute just ran out in the open like that for some reason.
I'm swinging around back end.
I like this play. I like that you're droning. This is a good time to drone. Okay, you know where he is. Just hold the angle and wait for your teammate to rotate. I don't get aggressive. If you get aggressive and take this one-on-one gunfight, it probably will throw you the round. So just play safe here. Okay, you know your teammate's in a gunfight.
On me.
So you get aggressive here, which is good. Yeah.
Nice.
Overall, decent round. Just for in the future, try to make for sure that you're droning before you enter the bomb site like you did, because you could have donated them the diffuser there. Yeah, now for this round, to make up for the mistakes that you guys made last round, just send one guy to the breach. Have one guy sit on the breach and have the rest of the guys take vertical control. You don't have to send 3 people to sit on one breach. You only need 1 person to watch the breach for like anyone rotating through it. And then outside of that, you can just have the rest of the team work on taking vert control. By putting so many people on the breach, you're basically making it harder to take the vert control, because you have less people up there working towards it. Okay, I like that you're getting this breach open again with Thermite. Good idea. You have way too many people outside on this breach right now. There's 4 people watching it. Well, now there's 3. You have way too many people watching this. You only need you're the only person that needs to be here, not your 2 teammates. You whiffed really bad there. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like you're struggling with the suppressor. So I would probably take it off of Thermite personally, just for the extra recoil control, especially for you. And also, yeah, it's just you just need to spend some more time working on your aim. There's nothing I can really tell you to improve that, because realistically it's just a skill you're gonna have to learn over time. Good kill. Nice job covering your teammates. Nice. Good job. You're making some good plays here. Now in this situation, I'd start droning so you can go for a plant. You know where Ella is now because she just killed your teammate.
Yeah. Literally about to work.
Yeah, you definitely need to take off the suppressor on Thermite, because you're struggling with the recoil on Thermite like a lot, And for his gun, it doesn't have a lot of recoil. And so the suppressor is clearly making you struggle here. I would take it off.
I'm trying.
Okay, now that you've gotten the plant down, you know at least one guy's in blue, and probably the other guy's going to be in blue as well. So what you're going to want to do is just fall back, hold the angle, wait for them to go start planting diffusing, and then you and your teammate can swing and kill them when they go for the diffuser. Until then, play passive. I would also throw a drone here because you have a drone in your pocket. I would throw a drone onto the diffuser, fall back, and just wait.
Mute rezzed himself, apparently. Alright, he got me. He literally shot me. Oh, now
Good
he's
aim.
dead.
Well, since your teammate said that Mute rezzed himself, that probably means that he didn't res himself, because I didn't see a rook. So Ella's probably going to be somewhere in the blue area, if I had to guess, or maybe even main stairs. She might rotate, but you should know the general location of Ella based on that call out, because Mute didn't just revive himself unless they have a rook. Okay, good win, guys. You guys played that round well. Like I said, just stop putting so many people in the breach. You don't need to stack that many people up on the breach. Now, compared to your attacker lineup, this is not nearly as good, and I'll tell you why. You have a Thorn, a Frost, and a Melusi, which all three of these operators are questionable. And also a Azami and Castle on the same lineup normally isn't needed. You normally don't need a Castle and an Azami. You normally just pick one. But with Thorn, Frost, and Melusi, I would only keep, honestly, Frost in this lineup, and I would swap out Thorn and Melusi for other operators like maybe Jaeger or Aruni or something like that. But you're not going to get much utility out of having all three of them here. So I would remove either Thorn or Melusi at a minimum and try to swap them out for a nade denial operator, because you're missing, if you had a nade denial operator on top of a zombie and castle, you'd be in a pretty good spot, because the attackers would have to go through so much utility. But right now you're just allowing them to get rid of utility for free because you don't have any nade denial or anything. Plus they're also going to be able to nade you for free, which is not a good thing.
Right.
Now that rotation is in the wrong spot. I just want you to be aware of that. This rotation is not supposed to be here. It's not supposed to be in the middle. You want to put it on the right side where that half wall is. And you're going to want to put head holes across the left wall here. So the right wall has the rotate, the left wall has head holes. And the reason for this is because it allows anyone who's playing in master to look all the way onto the K9 door and deny anyone from going for a plant. But the way you have it set up right now, it's not a very good setup. If you're going to make a rotate, you definitely don't put it in the middle.
Probably want them, but I want you to tell me how you want them.
I like that you're putting the shield on piano. That's a really good shield spot. I like that you're putting frost mats under windows. That's a smart decision. This is a decent frost mat as well. Yeah, frost mat placements aren't terrible. I'm assuming you're going to move this one over to the K9 window, which is good. This is a risky play though, because a common thing for the attackers to do when they spawn in is to jump up on the rocks over here and to shoot through the K9 window. And so if the attackers did that and they did the default pre-fire onto the spawn peak, you'd probably die here just because you're placing a frost mat in front of a window. So if you're going to place this frost mat down, you need to place it down before the prep phase is over, so that way you don't have the risk of getting shot. I like the fact that you get on cameras at the start of the round as well to see where the attackers are, but red pinging is not a good idea because now they know that that default camera is there. By red pinging them, if they're smart, they're just going to turn around and shoot the default camera. So you basically giving away that you have intel on them. So stop red pinging, get out of that habit. That habit is a bad habit to have. Once again, you're doing a really good job of getting on the cameras. You're just red pinging. If you didn't red ping there, your teammate could have easily just pre-fired this solar guy and killed him, or potentially even went and ran out on him. But now because you've red pinged, they're going to know that you know where they are. So they're going to probably shoot the camera at some point, and then they're also going to rotate and move locations because, you know, they've been pinged. So stop red pinging. It's a terrible idea. You need to get out of that habit desperately.
Okay, Iana's
good pickup on an ace.
Apparently, or backstairs.
Now, if I was you, I'd rotate into library as soon as possible to try to cut off her from peeking you on the left here. You've now revealed your position by shooting. I'd be, yeah, you should have rotated library sooner. Now, if I was you, I'd move to the left here and try to hold a more tight angle onto the hallway, because where you're standing right now, it's going to make Iana have a very easy gunfight on you because all she has to do is peek the corner. She's going to have peeker's advantage and she's just going to kill you. Whereas if you did a little bit closer to the wall, like a little more left, if you held an angle a little more to the left, if Iana was just face checking the room and she just looked at the room and kept walking, then she wouldn't see you and you'd be able to pick up a free kill. But now because you're standing in the open like this, it's going to be super obvious that you're here, and because you're not aiming at head level, you're probably going to lose this gunfight.
Behind you.
Yeah, so you lost the gunfight. Also, you just kind of flicked towards a soft wall, so that's another thing. But to me, if I was in your position, crosshair placement isn't great here. You're aiming at, you know, like chest level. You need to aim a little bit higher. And then also I would position myself a little bit more to the left, so that way when an attacker, when the Iana just looks at the room, she won't know that you're there and she might be caught off guard by you. Whereas since you're standing in the open right here, you're making yourself obvious and you're giving them a free gunfight basically. Okay, well, you guys lost this round just by throwing gunfights, it seems.
Me that whole time. Damn.
But yeah, that round wasn't all your fault, but you did make a pretty bad play there by, you know, positioning yourself in a bad place to take that gunfight with Iana. Picking Mira on this bomb site isn't a terrible idea. Just if you're gonna play Mira, you need to have roamers upstairs, so that way they can't just freely get rid of the Mira window.
Secure the bomb. Get your batteries down. Leave hatches to me.
I also like that you guys are communicating in the prep phase. It shows that you guys are, you know, making the effort. Because a lot of people wouldn't even communicate in this situation. They just assume that their teammates are going to go reinforce stuff.
Remember, there's only 2 hatches, right?
This is a really bad mirror window. If you put a mirror on this wall, this is really bad. And I'll explain why. If someone comes down trench stairs and they open that barricade, they can just shoot a Zofia charge at this wall, or an Ash charge at this wall, and it'll destroy it, and it'll kill, like basically guarantee that anyone playing on the mirror window is dead. This is a terrible mirror window. If you actually place a mirror here, you're gonna put yourself in a bad position. I'm assuming you are, considering how you've set this up. Yeah, you are. Yeah, this is a bad mirror window. Do not do mirror windows like this. This just gives the attackers an angle into the bomb site for free. If someone, like I said, just went down trench stairs, they could open that wall and then have an angle into the bomb site for free. They wouldn't even have to risk anything. They don't have to take control of trench. They don't have to take control of garage. They don't have to do anything. They just open that wall and then just play passive on the doorway for free.
I got the one in kitchen. Now I'm getting the one in
But
hall.
considering you're in lower ranks, they're probably not going to punish you for that mirror window. So I'm assuming that that mirror window is just going to, you know, be fine. But I'm assuming you're doing the default mirror strat, which is putting, yeah, this is a good mirror strategy. As long as you put a rotate next to you, you'll be able to take advantage of the mirror window pretty well. And then it'll be difficult for them to go for a plant here.
Bust it.
If they don't take for control. You hear one on blue. Yeah, you know that there's one blue. You need to rotate to blue now, because if they take blue control, you're screwed. Good rotation. And good job. Okay, I will say here, you made a really good play here by hearing Iana start shooting, and then you decided to swing her. Because see, you stop here, and then you hear her start shooting at a teammate, and then you swing. Good, that was a good choice on your part, because now since she's in a gunfight with someone else, you're going to be able to pick up this frag pretty much for free. So this was a good play on your part, I will admit. Just your aim was obviously a little bad, but you know, that's just going to come with time.
Let's put 3 of them are outside.
Okay, I don't know why you're trying to barricade that. That was a little questionable. I'm just going to let that slide. But yeah, barricading that obviously was a pretty awful decision because it's out in the open, and also you just don't barricade stuff into the bomb site. Which it seems like, yeah, you guys did. Stop barricading doors into the site. It's not a good idea. It's just cutting off rotations from the roamers. It's making your life a lot harder. Now, if you play this right and you guys both just play passive and wait for them to push you, then you should be fine. That was a good kill, but you probably shouldn't have peeked that. But you did a good job picking up that kill. You hit your shots there.
Was camping that.
Okay, you're in a 1v2 situation. Thatcher's jumped out of this. What I want you guys to do is I want you and her to swing at the same time. I want you and Thornton to swing at the same time. You're just gonna peek the breach. She's gonna peek outside of that cabinet, and as long as you guys do that properly, you can pick up the frag. If you don't do that, if you decide that you don't want to take this gunfight at all, that's another really good decision as well. Just play back, wait for him to go for the plant, and then swing him. If you just take a one-on-one gunfight here, if you both try to take a one-on-one gunfight here, you're gonna lose this round. So I hope that you guys don't do that. Yeah, just wait for him to. Okay, well, the Thorn allowed him. But the Thor's Razor Bloom got the kill. But in this situation, you either want to both swing him together, or you just want to not swing him at all and just let him go for the plant. And then when he goes for the plant, start peeking him. But yeah, you guys played that all right.
Be advised, Op 4 has found a bomb.
Hold on. This is a terrible frost map. The first time you put the frost mat over here, you put it close to the staircase, which was good. But where you have this here, if anyone comes up this staircase, they're going to see this frost mat and they're just going to shoot it. This is a terrible frost mat. If you're going to put frost mats on a staircase, you need to put them close to the stair. So that way the attackers might make the mistake of not seeing it.
I'm holding an angle on this.
Good job picking up the frag on Ram, rushing pretty aggressively early. That was a good play on your part.
There's somebody else.
You know
there
that there's
still.
more there. You know that there's more here. Okay, yeah, you swung this for no reason. Since you knew that there was more people here, I personally would have waited until a zombie gotten into that closet right there. And you both should have just held the angles until they eventually started to push in, and you could have held across there. But now you've swung something by yourself and you've given them a 2v1 gunfight because there's two people right in front of you here that you're probably going to die to. If I had to assume. Yep, you died to them. So yeah, that was a huge misplay on your part. You should have let a zombie help you, but instead you tried to take the fight by yourself. At least she got the refrag on you. But okay, so you had no one watching the backside at all. Okay, you guys are getting way too aggressive in this situation. I like that you're giving the call outs. I like that you're giving call outs, but once again, you're red pinging, which is a really bad thing to do. Just yellow ping from now on. After you, I'm sure after you watch this video, yeah, I've probably beaten it to a pulp at this point, but stop red pinging, start yellow pinging. You're doing a really good job of giving intel to your team though. I'm really proud that you're actually hopping on the cameras at the start of the round and stuff. Good job from you. But stop getting so aggressive in these clutch situations. You guys have a really bad habit at that. Like, there's no reason. I don't know if you're queued with them or not, so I'm just gonna give this advice just so you know that.
And I was rotating behind you.
Yeah, there's no reason to get this aggressive in a 1v4. You guys can just play back and win the round easily if you just work together. But you guys are giving this ace one-on-one gunfights, which means if he's good at the game, he could have killed, like potentially clutched this round if he was good enough. But luckily, you guys won your gunfights, and so you ended up winning the game. But yeah, son, just a general takeaway from this video is to just try to work on your aim a little bit, you know, go into the shooting range. It's not something that I can really help you with because it just comes with time, and I'm not really going to belittle you about it because once again, there's nothing, it's outside of my control, and it's just something you're going to have to get better with at time with time. But one thing I can help you with is stop red pinging. You have a terrible habit of that, and once you get to higher ranks, it's just going to get your cam shot. So stop red pinging, start yellow pinging. And then also stop getting aggressive in these clutch situations and these, you know, 2v whatever situations, because it's going to end up losing you guys the round. Also, work better, like try to get better at your positioning during a round. Like, for example, when you guys were attacking garage, there's no reason why you should have had 3 people on that breach. It should have been just you, and you should be communicating that to your team. There's no reason why 3 of you should be stacked up on 1 breach, 1 at the most. The rest of you guys should have went and rotated to other things to you know, help with the vertical control. But overall, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. You just need to, you know, spend some time improving on your aim and stuff like that. Anyways, that's going to wrap up today's video. Once again, thank you, It's Sun, for sending over the VOD. I know it can be difficult to, you know, send your gameplay out and, you know, have it put in front of a lot of people. So I appreciate you sending me the VOD for me to go over and, you know, give tips to other people. It really does mean a lot. If you guys want to be involved in this series, you can go ahead and join up in my Discord and send your VOD in the VOD review channel. And hopefully I'll get it to it at some point. I plan on this being a semi-often thing. I'm kind of a little bit confused on where I'm going to take the channel in the future because of a lot of stuff that's been going on in my life, not to mention with the whole YouTube landscape as a whole. So I plan on trying to implement either some new series or just some new content topics in general to the channel over the next few weeks. And so hopefully this VOD review series can become somewhat of a reoccurring thing, but we'll just have to see. And anyways, if you want to watch another video just like this one, of maybe popping up on your screen right now that I'm sure you enjoy. We'll see you next time, friends, and peace.